Here is the next video on MCQs from CA Final Law Old Course MTP2, which was conducted in April 2021. Okay, let's go through the question. The members of H Limited apply to the National Company Law Tribunal under Section 241 of the Companies Act 2013 on the grounds of operational mismanagement by the Board of Directors. The NCLT passed an order removing the managing director of a company, Mr. M. 1 year later, Mr. M is now a changed man, and the board of directors want Mr. M back as manager of the company. The board of directors seeks your expert opinion as to what they should do to get Mr. M appointed as the manager of the company. State your opinion in the light of the relevant provisions of the Companies Act 2013. Okay, before answering this question, I would like to take you through the study material on this point. Okay, yes, here it is. It is a consequence of termination or modification of certain agreements by an order passed by the tribunal. Okay, wherein it is written that no managing director, go to clause B, no managing director or other director or manager whose agreement is so terminated or set aside shall, for a period of 5 years from the date of order terminating or setting aside the agreement without the leave of tribunal, be appointed or act as a managing director, other director or manager of the company. So up to a period of cooling period of 5 years has been given, and that too without the permission of tribunal. They can't reappoint the same person. Okay, now we'll go through the MCQ. So option A says Mr. M cannot be appointed as a manager for a period of 5 years from the date of order, and the only solution available to the board is to wait for 4 more years. No, they may take a special leave from the tribunal. Okay, so option A is not correct. Option B says Mr. M can be appointed as manager if a special approval from central government is obtained. No, the section is clearly specifying a special leave from tribunal. Therefore, option B is also wrong. Option C says Mr. M can be appointed by way of making an application to the NCLT. Just because making an application cannot be considered as a leave from the NCLT, so they need to wait till the NCLT gives the permission, or else a cooling period of 5 years has to be completed. Therefore, the correct option for this question is option D is the correct option, none of the above. Okay, we'll move on. Question number 11. X Limited, a foreign company, along with the financial statements of FY 2021 in its Indian business operations, have to file statement of related party transactions, repatriation of profits, and statement of transfer of funds with the registrar latest by from the end of the financial year. So it is 30th September 2021. Let me just quickly take you through the study material regarding this point. Okay. Yes, here you go. According to the company's registration of foreign company rules 2014, every foreign company shall, along with the financial statement, required to be filed with the registrar, attach thereto the following documents: statement of related party transaction, repatriation of profits, transfer of funds. Okay, all these documents shall be delivered to the registrar within a period of 6 months from the closure of financial year of a foreign company to which the document relates. Therefore, it is 6 months from the end of financial year, that is 6 months from 31st of March 2021. It is coming to 30th of September 2021. Hope you are clear with this point. Let's go through the next question. The tribunal, while passing an order of winding up of the company for advising the company liquidator and to report the tribunal on winding up matters, may direct for constitution of which committee? It is advisory committee. Let me just quickly take you through the study material. See, advisory committee, section 281. The tribunal may, while passing an order of winding up of a company, direct that there shall be an advisory committee to advise the company liquidator and to report to the tribunal on such matters as the tribunal may direct. Therefore, it is the advisory committee. If you have gone through the study material, you will be answering these questions easily. Okay, we'll go through the next question. State which statement is correct as regards to the preservation of books and papers of amalgamated company. So it is relating to the amalgamation of the company. Let me just quickly take you through the study material regarding this point. See, here it is, section 239. The books and papers of a company which has been amalgamated with or whose shares have been acquired by another company under this chapter shall not be disposed of without the prior permission of central government. So you need to take prior permission of central government, without which you can't dispose of the books and papers. Therefore, option C cannot be disposed without the prior permission of central government is the correct option for this question. We'll move forward. State whether Mr. R, the director of Roma Limited, who is already been subjected to penalty of default under Companies Act 2013, repeats such default, shall be liable for subsequent defaults. Yes or no? Even for this, I'll be taking you through the study material. Just give me a second. Yes, here you go. Punishment in respect of repeated default, section 451. As per the section, if a company or an officer of a company commits an offense punishable either with fine or imprisonment, and where the same offense is committed with for the second or subsequent occasions within a period of 3 years, then that company and every officer thereof who is in default shall be punishable with twice the amount of fine for such offense, in addition to any imprisonment provided for that offense. So if he has committed the same default within a period of 3 years, then he is punishable. Therefore, even here, Mr. R, if he had made the default within a period of 3 years, he will be punishable. Therefore, option D, yes, if the default is committed within a period of 3 years from the date of order imposing such penalty passed by the adjudicating officer. Hope you are clear with this question. Let's move on to the next question. Minimum average maturity period prescribed for ECB raised for working capital purpose or general corporate purpose under the ECB framework is. Even for this, I'll be taking you through the study material. Sorry guys, I haven't found that. It is with regard to this ECB, the minimum average maturity period is 10 years. If you have found that in your study material, please go through it. I failed to identify it. It is 10 years. Therefore, the correct option to this question is option D. We'll move forward. The Reserve Bank may cancel a certificate of registration granted to an asset registration company if such company what will go through and will get back to you. Here it is. It is saying cancellation of certificate of registration. The Reserve Bank may cancel a certificate of registration granted to an ARC if such company ceases to carry on a business of securitization or asset reconstruction, or ceases to receive or hold any investment from a qualified buyer, or has failed to comply with the conditions subject to which the registration certificate of registration has been cancelled to it. Okay, so these are what the conditions. There are few more conditions that were given, but till the first 3 points is sufficient for this MCQ. Just go through the options. Ceases not to carry on the business of securitization. Ceases itself is a negative and negative. It means the company is carrying on a business of securitization and asset reconstruction. Even the second point, ceases itself is negative and it is combined with a not, it means negative and negative. Therefore, the ARC is holding an investment from a qualified buyer. So even this is not the correct option. So because cancellation of certificate arises only when it is not conducting a business of securitization, if it ceases to hold any investment from a qualified buyer, or it fails to comply. And the third option is has complied with the conditions. So these three are not the correct options for this question. The only option that is available to us is option D, fails to maintain accounts in accordance with the requirements of any law. So we'll identify this reason also. See, fails to, fifth point, and the subclause B, maintain accounts in accordance with the requirements of any law or any direction or order issued by the Reserve Bank of India. Therefore, option D is the correct option. We'll go through the next question. Mr. Ramnik purchased a property out of the unaccounted money in the joint name of his wife and son On complaint, adjudicating authority served a notice to seek information regard the sources of income and other particulars. State, as per the PMLA, that is Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002, to whom notice may be served by the adjudicating authority, whether it is Mr. Ramnik or his wife or son. We'll go through this, okay? See, here it is serving of notice by an adjudicating authority. Go through the last one. Where such property is held jointly by more than one person, such notice shall be served to all persons holding such property. Therefore, even here, all the three persons are eligible to get the notice, and the adjudicating authority will issue notice to all the three persons. Okay, we'll go through that. Correct option to this question is option D, to all the members, that is Mr. Ramnik, his wife and son. Okay, we'll go through the next question. No banking company shall hold any immovable property howsoever acquired except for its own use for a period of how many years? We'll go through the study material again. So here it goes: disposal of non-banking assets. Notwithstanding anything contained in section 6, no banking company shall hold any immovable property howsoever required except such as is required for its own use for a period exceeding 7 years from the acquisition thereof. Therefore, the correct option to this question is exceeding 7 years from the acquisition thereof. Okay, option D is the correct option for 18th question. The policy of life insurance shall be called in question on any ground from the study material. Will be going through this from the second point. With a view to serve the interest of the policy holders better, the period during which a policy can be repudiated on any ground, including misstatement of facts, etc., will be confined to 3 years from the commencement of policy, and no policy would be called in question on any ground after 3 years. So it is 3 years from the date of issuance of policy. So the correct option for question number 19 is within 3 years from the date of issuance of a notice, or on the commencement of risk, or the date of revival of the policy, or the date of rider to the policy, whichever is later. So option C is the correct option. Oh, there is other point. Yeah, shall be called in question, right? Option D says after the expiry of 3 years. No, after the expiry of 3 years, there is no question that can be called off, and on which ground the policy can be terminated. So it should be within the period of 3 years. A meeting of committee of creditors shall curate if members of committee of creditors representing at least 33% of the votes, either in person or by video or audio means. So this is a straightforward question from insolvency and bankruptcy code. Hope you are clear with this. With this, we have completed all the MCQs from CA Final Law Old Course MTP 2. Hope you are clear with all the points. If you have any doubts, please comment below. I'll be happy to address your issues. That is the only way that you can contact with me. Okay. That's all. If you find these videos helpful, please do like, share, subscribe, share with your friends, and help them to revise at the earliest. Thanks for watching.